So very auspicious Ekadashi, Safala Ekadashi is known as. So let us see what is the importance. See, the real reason for observing fasting on Ekadashi is to minimize the demands of the body and to engage our time in the service of Krishna by chanting or performing similar services, right? So the best thing to do on fasting days is to remember the pastimes of Govinda and to hear his holy names constantly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's given in Nectar of Devotion if you go and see the 7th verse, right? So let us see what is this Ekadashi's Mahima. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, he said, "Oh my dear Krishna, what is the name of that Ekadashi that occurs during the dark fortnight of the month of Pausha?" That means December, January. He was asking, how is it observed? Which deity is to be worshipped? So he was asking, please narrate the details to me so that I may understand. So now the Lord, he replied, "Oh best of kings, because you desire to hear, I shall fully describe to you the glories of the Pausha Krishna Ekadashi." And Krishna says, "No, I do not become as pleased by sacrifice or charity as I do by my devotees' observance of a full fast on Ekadashi." See, to the best of one's ability, one should fast on Ekadashi, the day, right? So he said, "Oh Yudhishthira, I urge you to hear with how to hear, undivided attention, intelligence and attention, right? The glories of the Ekadashi, which falls on a Dwadashi." So he said, "Oh king, to benefit humanity at large, I shall now describe to you the process of observing Pausha Krishna Ekadashi. And Pausha Krishna Ekadashi is also known as Safala Ekadashi." So let us see what is the Mahima of this Ekadashi. See, once there was a city called Champavati, which was ruled by the saintly king Mahishmata. He had 4 sons, the eldest of whom was named Lumpaka, and he always engaged in all the manner of sinful activities like illicit sex, right, gambling. So his evil deeds, what happened? No, it gradually reduced the wealth of his father, King Mahishmata. And Lumpaka also became very critical of the numerous devatas also. And every day he would go out of his way to blaspheme the Vaishnavas. So at last, what happened? King Mahishmata, his father, seeing the very, very sinful condition, very brazen, fallen condition of his son, he exiled his son to the forest. So out of the fear of the king, even his compassionate relatives also did not come to his help. So angry was the king to his son. So sinful was Lumpaka, right? So what happened? Lumpaka was bewildered in his exile. So now Lumpaka was thinking himself, my father has sent me away. Even my king's relatives, everything, they do not object to my father. Why are you doing like this? So what should I do? So what happened? He schemed sinfully, as he is sinful, right? So he was scheming sinfully and thought, I shall now sneak back to the city during the night and plunder the wealth. During the day, I shall stay in the forest. And at night, return. Right? So she was thinking like this. So in the darkness, at the time of in the forest, during the darkness, he entered. He killed many animals during the day. And by night, he stole so many valuables and items from the city. So the city people, they apprehended. Several times they caught him. But out of fear of the king, they left him alone. So they thought to themselves that it must have been the accumulated sins of Lumpaka's previous births that had forced him to act in such a way that he lost his royal facilities and became to act so sinfully like a selfish thief. So though he was a meat eater, Lumpaka would also eat fruits every day. So what happened? Once he was residing under an old banyan tree, unknown to him, right? And that tree happened to be a very dear to Lord Vaishnava, Vasudeva. So many worshipped, see, were demigods, right, of all the trees in the forest. But this banyan tree is very, very auspicious. So what happened in due course of time, while Lumpaka was doing so many sinful and condemnable activities, Safala Ekadashi arrived. Okay. So on the eve of the Ekadashi, that is Dashami, Lumpaka had to pass the entire night without sleep because of severe cold. You know, December, January, right? He felt severe cold due to his, in fact, the bedding, what bedding, nothing he was having. So it was very, very, very cold, shivering. So the cold not only robbed him of all the peace, no, but also all his life was almost taken away. So by the time the sun rose, he was almost dead because his teeth were chattering, right? It was so cold. So in fact, all that Ekadashi morning, he remained in the same near the banyan tree, and he was just in a very pitiable condition. And when midday of the Safala Ekadashi arrived, Lumpaka, the sinful Lumpaka, finally came and managed to rise from his place, and he was about to walk. But every step he took, what happened? He was tumbling down, fell to the ground. No energy. Like a lame man, he walked slowly, very, very hesitatingly, right? Suffering greatly from hunger and thirst. And it is the middle of jungle, correct? So weak was Lumpaka that he could not even concentrate or muster any strength to go and kill even a single animal the whole day. Otherwise he was doing it, right? He was reduced to collecting whatever fruits had fallen to the ground out of their own accord. He did not throw it. Whatever has fallen down, he took it. So by the time he returned to the banyan tree home, the sun had set. So what did he do? He was in the banyan tree with some fruits which he had collected. Placing the fruits on the ground next to him, at the base of this banyan tree, Lumpaka began to cry out, "What should I do? What has to be done now?" He was crying and he said, "Oh Sri Hari, please be merciful to me. Accept these fruits as an offering." See, how is it coming? Again he was forced to lie awake the whole night without sleep. But in the meantime, the all-merciful Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Madhusudana, he was very much pleased with Lumpaka's humble offering the forest fruits, and he accepted them. See, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "Patram pushpam phalam toyam, yomya bhaktya parayachati." Just patram, that's the fourth the simple things. If you offer to me with love, I will accept it. No need for chapan bhog and all. So same thing happened. So Lumpaka had unwittingly observed a full Ekadashi fast. And with the merit of this fasting, unknowingly, he reaped that day, he reaped wonderful benefits, and he regained his kingdom without any further obstacles. So now Krishna says, "Oh, listen, O Yudhishthira, to what happened to the son of King Mahishmata. Just by a fragment of the merit, right, which has sprouted in his heart." So sun beautifully rose on the sky on the following day of Ekadashi. What happened? A handsome horse approached Lumpaka, as if seeking him out, right, and stood next to him. At the same time, a voice suddenly came out from the clear blue sky, saying, "This horse is for you, Lumpaka. Mount it and ride swiftly out of this forest to greet your family." It is telling, "O son, king of Mahishmata, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva and the strength of the merit you acquired by observing Ekadashi, Safala Ekadashi, your kingdom will be returned to you without any further hindrances." So such is the benefit you have gained by fasting on this most auspicious day. Go now to your father and enjoy your rightful place in the dynasty. So upon hearing these celestial words, Lumpaka mounted the horse and rode back to the city, Champavati. So by the merit he had accrued by fasting on Safala Ekadashi, he had become a handsome prince once more and was able to absorb his mind in the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So that means he had become my pure devotee. So Lumpaka offered his father, King Mahishmati's humble obeisances, and then once more accepted the princely responsibilities. So seeing his son so decorated with Vaishnava ornaments and tilaka, King Mahishmata gave him the kingdom, and Lumpaka ruled unopposed for many, many years. See, whenever Ekadashi came, he worshipped the Supreme Lord Narayana with great devotion. And with the mercy of Krishna, he obtained a beautiful wife and a fine son. So in old age, Lumpaka handed his kingdom over to his son, just as his own father Mahishmita handed it over to him. So Lumpaka then went to the forest to dedicate his concentrated attention to the gratefully was serving the Supreme Lord with controlled mind and senses. So purified of all the material desires, Lumpaka left his old material body and returned back to Godhead, attaining a very beautiful, nice place near the lotus feet of the Lord. Right. So he says, now Krishna is telling, oh Yudhishthira, one who approaches me as Lumpaka did, right? He will become completely free of lamentation and anxiety. Anyone who properly observes this glorious Safala Ekadashi, even unknowingly like Lumpaka, will become famous in this world. He will become perfectly liberated at death and return to the spiritual abode of Vaikuntha. And he said, of this there is no doubt. And one who simply hears the glory, see, you don't have to follow also. When who hears the glory, the recitation of this Mahima, right? When who simply hears the glories of the Safala Ekadashi, he obtains the same merit derived by one who performs Rajasuya Yajna. And at the very least, he goes to heaven in this next birth. So where is the loss? So thus, this is a narration of the glories of Pausha Krishna Ekadashi, or which is known as Safala Ekadashi, from Bhavishya Uttara Purana. So very nice to hear, this it was telling. Krishna says by simply hearing the glories itself is beneficial. You don't have to do, you just sit and hear. Shravanam is very important. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Now, today's theme was importance of following the rules of Varnashrama system. See, generally, we think that ashrama means a place of hermitage. Okay. But Srila Prabhupada reveals to us a beautiful meaning for this word. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.22, first canto, 7th chapter, 2nd verse, while describing the place where Srila Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam, Suta Goswami is telling, Brahma Nadyam Saraswatyam Ashrama Paschime Tate Samya Prashayati Prokta Rashinam Satra Vardhanaha. Now Suta Goswami said, right? Now in the purport, Prabhupada very beautifully highlights the meaning of the word ashrama used in this verse. He says, Srila Vyasadeva was a householder. Householder means grahastha. Yet, his residential place is called ashrama. That is very stage, that is also known as ashrama. And what Prabhupada says, an ashrama is a place where spiritual culture is always foremost. It does not matter whether the place belongs to a householder or a mendicant, right? The whole Varnashrama system is so designed that each and every status of life is called an ashrama. This means that spiritual culture is the common factor for all. The brahmacharis, the grahasthas, the vanaprasthas, and the sannyasis all belong to the same mission of life. Realization of the Supreme Personality of God. Right? So none of them are less important as far as spiritual life is concerned. Okay? The difference is a matter of formality on the strength of renunciation. And Prabhupada says the sannyasis are held in high estimation. Why? Because on the strength of their practical renunciation. My Guru Maharaj says that in our Varnashrama system also all the 4 spiritual stages are called as Brahmacharya Ashram, Grahastha Ashram, Vanaprastha Ashram and Sannyasa Ashram. So the key point is that bhakti or devotional service is the prime factor in all ashramas and varnas. So irrespective of whether one is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, or in any one of the 4 ashramas, all of us should lead a life centered around Krishna. Because Krishna alone is the proprietor of the whole creation. What to speak of the residential places where we stay? See, everything belongs to Him. And He has mercifully allowed us to stay in such residences. See, nothing belongs to us. If anything belongs to us, it should come along with us, right? So when we remember this and remain grateful to Krishna, then we will experience all peace. It is guaranteed. See, once a devotee asked Prabhupada, So what is the perfect society? Prabhupada replied, yes, perfect society is Krishna consciousness. If you accept Krishna as the center, that is Krishna consciousness. Just like in a family, if you accept the head of the family, your father, as the guiding principle, the family is happy. And if you disrupt the opinions of the father, somebody goes away, somebody is not happy. The family is disturbed, right? Similarly, if you agree with the instruction of Krishna, the whole human society will have peace and prosperity. If you don't agree, disagree, right, then it is disruption. You can see every day, everywhere, all around the world, right? The instruction is there in Bhagavad Gita. You take it, you agree to it, and you become happy in this world and in the next world. So this indeed is a secret of perfection in all stages of life, irrespective of whatever varna or ashrama you are in. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4.13, Chatur varnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. According to the three modes of mental nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. See, while describing about the Varnas and Ashramas, Srila Prabhupada in one of his lectures in Hawaii, I think in March 27, 1969, he very nicely explains the meaning of samskars. He says that everyone of us is a Shudra at the time of birth. Shudra has no samskara. Samskara means training. See, everyone is accepted as Shudra by birth. Janmana jayate Shudra. Janmana means by birth. By birth, everyone is born a Shudra, a fourth class man. So it is to be accepted. See, just like a child, right? Innocent child. What does he know? He has to be trained. So either you train him as a Brahmana or train him as a Kshatriya, train him as a Vaishya. Otherwise, he is a Shudra, already born Shudra. So Shudra has no training, right? So everyone, see the basic principle, the basic foreground, everyone is accepted as Shudra. Now, if you train him as a Brahmana, then he becomes a Brahmana. If you train him as a Kshatriya, he becomes a Kshatriya. If you train him as a Vaishya, he becomes a Vaishya. So this is a system, very scientific, so that if you want the help of a really intelligent man, right, a realized man is ready. Brahmana class, right? It's just like if you require the help of a lawyer. You've got so many lawyers. So if you require the help of a medical man, you should all this, they should be trained, right? So simply by being born in a high parentage alone does not make one a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya. First important step is training or samskar. Apart from the trainings we receive, our character is also influenced by the association we get. Very, very important point. Prabhupada is in his wonderful purport to verse number 336 in Bhagavatam very nicely says, how birth alone is not a criteria for goodness. It is said in the other Puranas that, see, Narakasura, he was born the son of Dharitri, right? The earth, by the Lord himself. But he became a demon due to the bad association of Bana, another demon. See, an atheist is called a demon. And it's a fact that even a person born of good parents can turn into a demon by bad association. Birth is not always the criterion of goodness, okay? So unless and until one is trained in the culture of good association, one cannot become good. In our lives, we would have experienced, see, either at school or at work, we would have received training in so many different subjects. But what happens over the years, if you are not in touch with it, what happens? And if you don't do any work on that, what we have studied, over a period of time, we tend to forget it. Whereas a person who has received the training as well as has work experience on that, he becomes an expert in that subject matter. Even if you are gifted with good parentage, proper training and good association, unless we practice what we learnt, we cannot be useful instruments in the hands of Guru and Krishna. See, in the case of Shringi, we find in Srimad Bhagavatam that although he had received good training from his father, since he did not practice what he had learnt, he made the mistake of cursing Maharaj Parikshit. So Prabhupada says, just like if you are simply trained or educated as a lawyer, and if you are not practicing in the court, nobody comes to you to consult as a lawyer. Nobody cares for you, right? You must be practicing also. Similarly, like a medical, right? Without practice, how can you? Nobody come for taking operation or any medicine from you. So similarly, to become a Brahmana means, first of all, he must know what is Brahman. And he must actually be situated in the activities of Brahman. So devotional service are activities of Brahman. Like getting up of Mangalarti, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So all this. So activities in Krishna consciousness means activities in Brahman. Brahme charati iti Brahma brahmachari. Charati means acts. Actually, he acts in life. Applies the principles of Brahmana in his life. He is called a brahmachari. So these were the trainings. See how in ancient times, based on the nature and tendency of the child, the Guru gave the corresponding training and molded them to nice individuals. But nowadays we don't have the luxury of Gurukul. But Krishna has kindly left behind scriptures like Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and has sent his dear representative like Srila Prabhupada. So we can get all the training required to lead a proper life from them. So by always taking association of such great souls and by abiding by their instructions and practicing them in our lives, what will happen? We will be able to purify our existence. See, it is very nicely said that we do not really function properly in the 4 ashramas. We have the 4 ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. That's what Krishna says in 4.13. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashah tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. See, he has created these and there is no way out of it, okay? Forced brahmachari will create chaos in society. Don't have to force anybody. Maharaj is better marry at the right time, in the right years. So there are few exceptions, right? From the beginning, like the sannyas, they are renounced, or even brahmachari, they are renounced. That saves time actually. They do not want to get into it, like a grahastha and all. There's a nice verse in the scriptures. It's on the Sanskrit shloka. Pratame narjita vidya, dvitiye narjitam dhanam, tritiye narjitam punyam, chaturtye kim karishyati. One who has not gained experience in the accumulation of knowledge in the first ashrama or phase, brahmacharya, one who has not gained experience in the accumulation of wealth in the second ashrama, grahastha ashrama, householder, one who has not gained experience in the accumulation of piety in the third ashrama, that is vanaprastha. What will he do in the fourth ashrama, sannyasa? He has not gained experience in these things. So let us see one by one. Pratame narjita vidya. Education means to cultivate ourselves to get out of the lower modes. That is education. See, my Maharaj used to say in one of the classes, these boys are also taught discipline. So they stop being monkey type. Right? Otherwise, jumping here and there. See, in the school, they are disciplined to behave in a particular way. So they are slowly coming out of the modes. See, in the beginning, they are full of ignorance and passion. Slowly they come out. So in the olden days, it was very nice, right? That they had to go to the Gurukul. They had to perform all menial duties. Nobody was grudging about it. They were accepting it. This is Prathama Ashrama. Here, now we have to accept education for our own sustenance. This is also included in this. But we do not do that. Prathame narjita vidya. Second is dvitiye narjitam dhanam. First is vidya, education. Then is dhanam. So when the grahastha ashrama is very solid, what happens? All the other ashramas function very nicely. See, grahastha ashrama is only ashrama wherein we have the chance to make money by honest and proper means. We forget that these are ashramas. Ashram means we cannot sleep after sunrise. You must get up before sunshine. Austerity is there. See, the initiation process, we get all initiation process forces you to be more austere. And this forces you to understand the regulations. See, the city has particular laws. So till I abide by the laws, I am allowed to stay there. And as soon as I break the laws, instead of sitting nicely in the house, I'll be sitting somewhere behind the bars. There is no doubt about it. So as far as you are cooperating, you are allowed to move freely. So this gives very nice austere life, wherein you will not only perform your prescribed duties, but you are allowed to earn as much as possible by honest means. This is sadhava. In Grihastha also, we do not stop being a sadhu. This we should not forget, because we are sadhu. By honest means we earn so much. Now whatever we earn, we are satisfied. We are not dhanalubdha, that by any means we must have. By hook or crook we should have money. No. As soon as we understand this, the initiation process is very clear in front of us. So this is the second one. Dvitiye narjitam dhanam. Then tritiye narjitam punyam. See, you may be fortunately in Vanaprastha stage. In Vanaprastha, you have to perform the pious activities. We do not really leave the families, but we are a bit separate. The rooms must be separate. My Guru Maharaj in one of the classes, a very powerful statement, he said, if you really want to sustain the Grihastha life, then we have to be very clear about it, that we should never have a double bed. That is not our culture. Separate beds must be there. So as soon as we come to this purity, the initiation has a meaning. The highly sanctifying thing in our life is initiation. Now, it is December, right? Today is what? 16th of December. New Year is very around the corner. And we usually take vows to improve the quality of our lives. Personally, we take vows, but poor in keeping New Year resolutions. Right? It will last only for a few days and then die out. But we find so many great souls in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, like Bhishma Dev, Maharaj Priyavrata, Gandhari, who are very fixed in their vows throughout their lives. See, in one of the classes, my Guru Maharaj was speaking very nicely. He was explaining about the word Priyavrata in the verse. Vrata is very dear to us. Vrata. Vrata means vows. Person for whom Vratas are dear is known as Priyavrata. So we also have to be Priyavrata. Material situations, always differ. They always keep changing. So that is the nature of material existence. Nobody can stop this change. It is beyond our control. But Vrata should be priya to us. Ambarish Maharaj was a Grihastha. Although he was an emperor of the whole planet, he had taken a vow voluntarily that he will not speak anything other than Krishna. We don't really have that much business like Ambarish Maharaj. So nobody forced Ambarish Maharaj. Right? Now because he is a devotee, he had devoted voluntarily. That is devotee. Nobody requested him. He was emperor. Nobody can order or request him. He took the vow that he will not speak anything else other than Krishna. All the 9 processes of bhakti he was doing. Shravanam, Kirtam, Vishnu. Right? See, we don't have anything to do anything. And unfortunately we speak so many other things other than and never Krishna. So all these incidents clearly show us that our material situation doesn't come in our way. To have unflinching faith in Supreme Absolute Truth and to follow the process. It's only our mind which forces us to go this way or that way. So this quality was completely absent in Maharaj Priyavrata. He was very firm in following the vows. On the contrary, when we look to ourselves, we are very weak in following the vrata. And to the extent we are weak, we are in miserable condition. This we have to understand. Otherwise, if we go on following our vows, what if we go follow strictly with commitment, there is no miserable condition. Sanklesha nirvana mushanti nanyata. Sanklesha means mental anguish. And the resultant miseries come out of such mental anguish. Nirvanam means to mitigate. Ushanti nanyata. There is no other way but to keep ourselves very strongly in the framework of our vows. See, instead, unlike these great personalities, We are completely entangled into the different web of material existence. So this should actually set us thinking, right? So the point is very nicely described in the purport. In his brahmachari life, Maharaj Priyavrata was very renounced. In brahmachari life, we should be renunciant. Otherwise, education will not be there. Education means transcendental education. If transcendental education is absent, then whichever ashram we are in, we will create havoc. Now, because we are not following the ashrama, Chaturvarni Maya system, right? It is coming from Supreme Absolute Truth. Our position is that we want to carry out different whims with our mind. This is Manobhatan. Concoction of mind forces us not to follow this Varnashrama system. See, just to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning is so impossible. What happens? No, our mind gives us so many arguments. Oh, don't do it. You have so many household duties. You have to do this, you have to do that. So take rest now. Mind will give all these logical reasonings. Mind will stop us to follow our vows. See, we are discussing about Priyavrata, right? Vrata means must be dear to us. And we must do anything for us to maintain the Vrata. If it is Priya, then we can do anything to maintain the Vrata. As soon as you are strong in your Vrata, determined, whether we are in any stage of life, we will be safe. You cut your mind and throw in the ocean. Vrata must be very strong, right? See, no child, 1 child, 2 children, 10 children. These are all nonsensical excuses. Let us just learn this one word, Priyavrata. See, the determination should be strong, and that is Priyavrata. Dhrida Nishchayi, and this is Priyavrata. So these are required. Srila Prabhupada was a Priyavrata. At the age of 70, he travelled out of Vrindavan. He took so much pains to travel all over the world. If you really care, sit with him, sit with his books and follow his words. This should be our Priyavrata. That's why in Bhagavatam 10:26, the demigods prayed to Supreme Lord. Satya Vratam Satya Param Trisatyam Satyasya Yonim Nihitam Cha Satye Satyasya Satyam Vrita Satya Netram Satyamakam Tvam Sharanam Prapanna. So demigods, they prayed, oh Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect, because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone. So being present in these 3 phases of cosmic manifestation, creation, maintenance and annihilation, you are the supreme truth. Unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by your hypocrites. You are the active principle, the real truth, in all the ingredients of creation, and therefore you are known as Antaryami, the inner force. You are equal to everyone, and your instructions apply for everyone or for all times. You are the beginning of all truth, therefore offering our obeisances, we surrender unto you, kindly give us protection. So, Supreme Lord is known as Satya Vrata, one who never deviates from his vow. And the demigods clearly say that we cannot receive the Lord's mercy if we remain hypocrites. Telling something, doing something else. You say right in front of Prabhu, you are very nice, you are wonderful, you are very good kirtan, very good class. And in the mind, you are a rascal. Right. So let us pray at the lotus feet of Guru, Prabhupada and Krishna and give up our hypocritic attitudes and remember and follow the words of all the acharyas in our parampara, and especially the 4 varnas and ashramas. Very important for us to follow. This has to be followed, otherwise it will total chaos all around. So let us chant Hare Krishna and close down. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you very much, Prabhu Mataji, for giving me this opportunity to glorify the Lord and pray for ourselves. Hare Krishna. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhischa. Kripa sindhu bhayevach. Patitanam pavani pi Vaishnava. Anant Kodi Vaishnava.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you for your wonderful class
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much.
and
Hare
enlightening
Krishna,
class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat
Thank you,
Pranam. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna
Hare
to all
Krishna.
devotees assembled here.
Hare Krishna.
Jai to all devotees. Jai. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you so much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I just have a question.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, as a simple devotee and a beginner devotee, but very interested in following the Ekadashi Vrat, how you want us to conduct a day, Prabhuji, like morning till evening, who's staying at home for
Yeah.
Mataji?
See, first of all, if you are starting Ekadashi, you should not force yourself. You see everybody fasting without any grains and without water, so many things. Don't do that. It depends on your age also, and maybe some medical things, and then you should not force yourself. But slowly but steadily, you should improve. Ekadashi, definitely grains is not allowed, but you can take fruits, milk, so many things like so many other things which are permitted, right? Slowly but steadily you should follow. You should not force yourself to do. Just by getting up early in the morning, chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Then so many other activities you can. You can just, some people can sit and chant continuously. Some people cannot do that. So you can read words from Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, or you can hear some Krishna Katha. Just like today, 1 hour you already done Ekadashi by hearing Krishna Katha and the importance of the Ekadashi Mahatmya. So chanting, then maybe you can cook for Bhoga for Krishna, offer it to him, take it as Prashadam. So many activities, Prabhupada has given us full package, what you have to do the whole day. So by doing that, you can call some Mataji or Prabhuji and discuss one verse. Or you can call people to your home, for people, neighbors, and chant your prayers. Right? This way it is possible. So make it very simple. Don't force yourself. If medical things are there, so because Prabhupada has said, first of all, your health should be good. Then you will be able to perform your Ekadashi or any other Vrata. Right? So take care of your health first. That's very important. This is a very simple thing. So you can do it. Take chanting down, hearing Krishna Katha, even writing notes or taking the notes. So your mind is always engaged in Krishna consciousness by doing different activities. Sometimes we feel bored. We want variety. This is the thing in this current Kali Yuga. We think variety. We need variety. Even Kirtan also, the same tune we don't want for a long time. Different tunes. So variety in everything. Variety in Prashadam also. So this is how. But we can make it simple. So slowly they get better and better. Maybe 1 hour without water, or then 2 hours, then like that. Slowly, then 3 hours. So slowly you can extend. I hope it is useful, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadashi.
Happy Ekadashi, everyone. Hare Krishna. It will be happy if you follow the Ekadashi very simply, nicely. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So I'll close, Prabhuji. I think I am the host. I need to close it down. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, devotees. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.